Welcome back to ALPB Roundup. We've got a lot to catch up on here, so we're going to hop right on in. Going to hit it with a two-parter, catching up on what's been going on around the league, one division at a time. We're going to start it in the South, and we're going to start it with the league's best team. That's right, your Gastonia Honey Hunters. Boy, low expectations coming in, despite some more positive outlook than they had last year. They performed extremely well, now winning 8 straight after dropping their opener. Best record in the league. The rotation's been a very solid combination of John Anderson, Jerry Keel, Riley Hovis, that man's back, Deck McGuire, and Marcus Walden. They've been looking very good. A 3.40 ERA for that rotation with a 1.11 whip. In the bullpen, they've been much better than they were in 2021. Sub 2 ERA early here and a whip that's right around 1. We'll see if Gastonia can maintain a better bullpen this year with their usage, because that was a garbage fire last year. We don't have to rehash that, but we might later. Shout to Spencer Bivens, by the way, getting picked up by the Giants organization. We love it for the boys. That's huge for that man. Looking at the lineup, Gastonia lost a lot of what made them dangerous in 2021. However, Joseph Rosa, Jack Reinberger, Alex Holderbach, and Luis Roman have all got out to hot starts for the team. Johnny Davis, Jake Skoll, and Reese Hampton, and a few others also make it a very difficult lineup to work through on the bump. Rosa, by the way, has a 1.282 OPS to start the season. That's a 165 OPS plus. Stay hot, kid. Let's go. Looking ahead, I want to say this. Projected Gastonia is maybe 8th best in the league, 5th in the South Division. Right now, I would say they're probably 3rd best team in the South Division looking long-term here, and maybe a top 5 team in the league even. However, it is worth mentioning, they have not played the best competition. The Genomes, the Barnstormers, the Staten Island Fairy Hawks. It's not exactly a strength of schedule, trophy case here. So we'll see. It might be all the way until mid-May until we learn more about them when they take on the Blue Crabs. Moving right along to Charleston, just grabbing randomly here. Charleston's off to a strong start, going 6-3 in the early going. However, they have lost 3 of their last 5, something to keep an eye on. The rotation, Charleston's rotation is far from overpowering, allowing 25 earned in their first 40 innings of work, but Jose Mesa Jr. did look good in his first outing yesterday, allowing just 1 earned over 6 innings. They'll need Dom DeMasi, Kevin Herget, and Jordan Stevens to all step up in order to really compete in the South. The bullpen looks much better than the rotation, though. 2.12 ERA in the early going, led by Justin Miller, Walker Weichel, and Kit Sheets. Great names there, by the way. This bullpen could do a lot to keep the Dirty Birds competitive in the standings. The lineup projects to be about league average, headlined by Alberto Callaspo, Juan Perez, and Engel Beltre, Nick Longy, and Connor Justice. Another solid name there. Always good names in Charleston. They're all off to hot starts that the Dirty Birds will hope to see continue. Looking ahead, offensively and defensively, they're looking like a league average team, which makes them easy fodder for about a third of the league and a very tough matchup for a third of the league. So it's going to be about what they do in the middle ground there. While I do think this team looks a little better than projected, which is no surprise from a Billy Horn-led team, I still project them as the 3rd best team in the South at best. Could be struggling to 4th if Gastonia stays hot like this. Moving along to Lexington. Very strong team with some Visa guys who are going to be coming in. As the defending champs, obviously they have to be considered one of the favorites here. Rough 4-5 starts so far, really up and down, but this is a team that's looking long-term, and they look like they could be very good in the long term. The rotation is led by J.J. Hoover and Daniel Corsino, and finished out with Jeff Thompson, Tom Dormany, and Mason Cole. Texas kid coming up here to steal your daughters. The rotation has good potential to be above average in the league. However, they're just going to need to avoid big innings, not get hurt. That's sort of an Atlantic League sort of across the board thing. They've already been kind of bit by that so far. The bullpen's higher leverage arms look solid, particularly Austin Adams in the closer role and Daniel Gibson. Also keep an eye on Yarmiel Geraldo, a non-roster guy who showed up to the party throwing a gas, looking dangerous. Can't believe that kid's still in the league already. Now, looking at the lineup, it was the best offense in Atlantic League history last year, and they managed to improve it this season. They returned Courtney Hawkins, Tillman Pugh, and Jose Brasino, and they add Boog Powell, Dangerous, Blake Swihart, Philip Irvin, Yordani Valdespin, and Isaiah Tejeda. That is a headache and a half to deal with on the mound. Looking ahead, the Legends project as a top 3 team in the league, and I think they still do, despite some early missteps and some implosions on the mound and in the field. They were the worst feeling team to start the season off. As opposed to last season, the 2022 Legends are looking like more of a second-half team as they sort of gather themselves, figure out exactly what this lineup will look like, and let the bullpen fall into place a little bit more. But we'll see if they can clean their record up playing Staten Island next week. that seems like so far the way to correct some woes for a team. High Point, looking at them, the Rockers look like Lexington's main competition in the South and are bringing a pretty competitive team to this party. They've won 5 straight before losing last night, and they look like they were out for revenge after narrowly missing the playoffs last year. You might recall they won the best records, but with the playoff format, they did not get into the dance. The rotation's led by Brady Lale, Justin Nicolino, and Cooper Cassad. So far, that rotation has a 1.6 ERA and a .822 whip. Are you kidding me? That was up until a tough one last night. The bullpen's been handling business too, allowing 0 home runs in their first 29 innings of work again before last night when I think they go up a couple. Keep an eye on Ryan Dull, who has struck out 9 of the 17 batters he faced in 4 innings of work. That's gross. The pitching looks like it is the real deal for High Point. Now looking at the lineup, Lexington let Ben Aklinski walk in after 2021, and so far he's tearing it up in High Point. Wasn't at his best last night, but so far to open the year in 34 plate appearances, he is slashing 440, 588, 800 over those first 34 plate appearances. That's a 181 OPS early. Gross, dude. What are we doing here? Ben Aklinski is nasty. Mike Galino, Xander Weil, I don't know. I'm so sorry. I just have not seen enough High Point games so far. And Quincy Lattimore, back from Italy, are proven to be a problem in a lineup that also has Tyler Ladendorf, Johnny Field, Logan Morrison, and Jerry Downs. It's not a comfortable game to pitch through. We're going to say that for High Point, right? Looking ahead, High Point hasn't faced particularly tough competition. Another one of those faced the Genomes and the Barnstormers. But we'll see if they can finish the series out strong against Charleston. They've split so far. As is, I projected them as the 3rd team in the league and 1st or 2nd in the South. At this point, they're projected solidly as the 3rd team in the league and likely the favorite in the South over the Legends. Looking at the Genomes, final team, got to keep up here. We're moving quick, I know. Observations early on the Genomes, well, they were going to have pitching and they're going to have very little hitting. After a promising start, they've now dropped 6 in a row and now sit 2-7. Here is the problem. Remember what I said about very little hitting just 10 seconds ago? Right now, they do have the worst offense in the league by OPS and several other metrics. But remember what I said about having pitching? Well, they're allowing more than 10 runs a game to start here. It's a tough look. All of their starters have gotten smacked in the mouth at least once this year. Can't survive that way if we're going to be built like the Genomes are. The bullpen, it could help a lot, but they've struggled too so far. They're looking for Ryan Harper, Luis Guzman, Tim Peterson, Diego Moreno to be key if this pitching staff is going to survive this season. On the offensive side, Riley Mahan and Will Decker are carrying this lineup so far. However, the team only has 4 hitters above the Mendoza line, and when you're giving up 10 runs a game, that ain't going to cut it. The Genomes need Chris Shaw, Felix Pie, and new signing Wellington Dotel to step up in a big way to strengthen this lineup. Looking ahead, the team invested in Kentucky locals and fan favorites. The projections were concerning with that strategy as they were projected as 4th or 5th in the league to begin with, and that was in the North, and 7th or 8th in the Atlantic League. Now they're projecting as the last team in the South by a couple games and 8th in the league. However, Mark Minikazi, he had struggles in the beginning of last season. He got his team 1 game away from the championship series. So who knows? That was a lot. That was a lot of info over a lot of time. And if you hung in and you didn't have to rewind the whole time to be like, what'd that man just say? I appreciate you hanging with me. I'm Ryan from ALPB Roundup. Keep an eye out. We got the North coming up probably as soon as this thing can upload. Talk to you next time.